AI giants NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Oracle have built a circular network of billion-dollar partnerships, each relying on the other as the AI wars accelerate. And join us now is Michael Wolff, Activate CEO and co-founder. And like so many things, it kind of looks good and makes sense, but then you realize that times in the past, things like this haven't necessarily turned out.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of chatter.
Is it okay?
Well, there's a lot of chatter saying it's a bubble, and the reality, it's
no,
not.
I mean the vendor financing, the insular relationship between companies that are doing business with each other, being funded by each other.
It's really not vendor financing. This is you've got all of these companies. They're all investing, making huge investments in infrastructure, and at this level of investment, of course, they're all going to partner up to do it. But they're investing really because there's going to be real demand, and the real demand is here.
Andrew, we talked about. I mean, are we worried about it or not? Can it end badly?
The question is why it's being done this way, right?
Money's got to come from somewhere.
Well, the money's got to come from somewhere, but you don't have no concern at all about how you're taking companies that effectively can't afford to make the commitments that they're making, right? They can't afford to make the commitments they're making, just empirically. They don't have the cash.
Right.
And so they are getting the money from, in the case of NVIDIA, they're getting the money from the folks they're making the commitment to buy the chips from and using that money to go buy the chips. Meantime, you can look at the AMD deal, which is the reverse of that, which is, okay, we can't afford to buy the chips, but we know that if we commit to you, your stock is going to go up. We'll take warrants in your stock. Your stock is going to go up as a result of this. We're going to be able to take the money from that and go buy the chips that we also couldn't afford to buy.
But here's where there's the difference,
okay,
which is in the late 90s, what we saw was the equipment companies, Nortel and others, making huge investments, Lucent and others. They were giving credit to WorldCom, Sprint, AT&T to buy equipment, but the demand wasn't there. When the demand didn't materialize, they couldn't pay back that credit.
Oh, by the way, yes, there's demand. The question is there demand at prices that are even close to profitable? No. So yes, there's demand at not, by the way, there was demand for MoviePass too, but the economics of it didn't work. So,
well, the economics didn't work, but not at this scale. I mean, we've got, look at it from a consumer perspective. Today, you've got ChatGPT, 5 to 6 billion visits each month, and the revenue is there. It's growing fast. But you've also, but that compares to Google today, which is close to 200 billion visits a month. And so much of what Google is going to deliver is when you go to a query, it's going to deliver an answer with Gemini. So when people
but the marginal cost of delivering that answer is so much higher than what it was.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's a real issue.
Right. Well, the market for the longest time with many of these companies, and certainly with the Mag 7, has been willing to bet ahead of
so let me ask you. Okay, so here we are today. It's we're in 2025, October 10th.
Did you see that? You had to look up the year.
I did.
I just watched.
I did.